All right, everybody, we'll get started. Hope you guys can hear me all. Welcome to the 2026 Salmon Grant Application Workshop. So just some housekeeping items. Please be sure to name yourself, your name and organization, so we know who you are. You can do that by hovering over the options over your name and click the more options and select rename. Attendees are going to be muted for the entirety of this webinar, so be sure to use the Q&A function to ask questions. The chat should be disabled, so we're not going to be using that. And just to note, this workshop will be recorded and available on our website afterwards, so you can revisit it. So some things that we're not going to cover today, we're doing kind of a shorter version. We're not going to cover kind of general RCO and surfboard background. We're not going to go into a demo of the PRISM application or get into details about requirements related to acquisition, planning, restoration, or riparian project types. And we're not going to get into cultural resource applications because we have these videos that are pre-recorded and available on our website. And there'll also be workshop playlists that are going to be linked on our main Salmon page. So tune into those, and particularly recommend doing that before get going on your application. Things that we will cover today during this live workshop are just kind of general basics on the Salmon Grant Program, including the process and schedule. We're going to touch on some hot topics and go over kind of the different funding programs that are open this round. So our Salmon Recovery Funding Board and our Puget Sound Acquisition and Restoration Program, the regular program, plus we have Targeted Investment and the PSAR Large Capital Program this year. So in general, here's our Salmon team, made up of our fearless leaders and our awesome grant managers. If you notice, we have a couple of gaps there. We're currently working to fill 2 positions of grant managers right now, so stay tuned for new hires on that coming soon. And we hope to have them up to speed and out on the site visits this round for you. So here are a map of the Washington lead entities. These are the local watershed groups that are integral to our process. And they're the ones that are authorized by the legislature to develop habitat restoration and protection strategies and help look for projects to implement them. So here's a very generalized flow chart of our grant round process. So you're going to want to start out by contacting your lead entity. They have their own schedule within our grant round schedule, and most of them require you to submit a letter of intent or a conceptual project form in which you describe your project. If you're invited to move forward, then they're going to enter that information into our Salmon recovery portal and give you a PRISM number. And then you will use that PRISM number to go in and fill out an application in our PRISM database online. And you'll need to submit a complete application prior to your lead entity's site visits. And those site visits are going to have your local lead entity reviewers on the technical side and sponsors. And then the Surfboard Technical Review Panel will have 2 members attending those site visits to review your project. And they're going to have questions for you. They're going to provide comments and suggestions on how to improve your project. After that, the panel is going to meet as a full group and provide comment forms to you. So the statuses are going to be clear, conditioned, NMI, which means needs more information, or it could be a POC, which means it's a project of concern. And that means that there are major concerns about the likelihood of success or benefits to salmon. So if you get cleared at this stage and there are no comments to address, you can basically, like a game of Chutes and Ladders, follow this dashed arrow up and skip the next review process loop and go to the ranking. So you're really aiming to get to that cleared status early on. It's important to submit all the information you have, including required designs or supporting documents, to give the full picture of your project as early as possible so that there's less questions and concerns about it moving forward. So if you do get one of these conditions or an NMI or a POC, you do have the option of having a dialogue with those review panel members. So we'll set up a phone call for you if you're interested, and you can ask questions and get clarity on what the panel is asking in order to better respond. Because once you have that conversation, you're going to be able to fix up your application, respond to those comments within the application, and submit that revised application online. So you're able to fix it up. And then the review panel will meet again and give you a final comment. So after that, your project will either be cleared, conditioned for maybe a design review at a certain stage, or it might still be a project of concern. And then the lead entities will rank the projects and submit that list for funding to RCO, and then that goes to the Salmon Recovery Funding Board for funding approval. So here's the more detailed schedule. So the lead entities, they're unique. They have their own internal process for reviewing and vetting those projects as well. So they're going to have their own deadlines in addition to or earlier than some of these that we have for RCO. So as I mentioned, you're going to want to submit your complete application by the 2 weeks prior to the lead entity site visit date. And so all those dates are different. The site visits are done in 2 tracks. We have a track 1 where the site visits are done in February and March, and a track 2 where they're done in April and May. And the first review panel comments for the early track are going to be out to you sponsors on March 27th. Track 2 will have those out by May 29th. And then we have those dates set up for optional calls with the review panel. And then the final revised applications are due by June 22nd at noon, which is RCO's drop dead deadline, or you may have to submit it earlier if the lead entity is asking for those to be submitted at an earlier date. So please make sure you're following the lead entity schedule and make sure you're maintaining eligibility with them. The final review panel comments after the panel meets is going to be out on July 24th. And then if your project gets conditioned, we need to have those conditions accepted in order to be able to be considered for funding by August 6th. And the lead entities will submit us their rank lists, and the board meets in September to award the funding. So that's kind of very generalized information. More of the details are going to be found in Manual 18, including the different project types and eligibility and requirements for those. That is found on our Salmon Recovery Grants webpage. There's also forms there and other resources. We're going to have our workshop playlist there. And there's links to the lead entity coordinators. Please reach out to them. They're great sources of information, and don't hesitate to lean on your RCO grant managers. We're here to help you understand the eligibility, help refine your applications, and get you through the process as best as we can.